Have you ever wondered how websites would automatically send you emails right after you've registered with them? Now, what if you were a realtor who could automate your business like that? So, let's say somebody registers for a lead magnet, or let's say somebody registers for a list of homes. Now, what if you were able to email them the second they register with you? In this video, guys, I'm going to be showing you exactly how to set up automations in ActiveCampaign. We've been using it in our business and it's helped tremendously. So it's allowed us to stay in touch with people. People come back to life after they haven't even talked to us in months, and we've been able to automate the entire process. Hey guys, my name is JP Ganem. I've been in real estate for 7 years, done over 100 transactions and over $100 million in sales. I also became the top 1.5% agent attractor at eXp Realty, and we also help agents install their own client acquisition systems within their business at Create Quality Leads. Without further ado, let's hop into it. Okay guys, let's hop right into it. So we've got ActiveCampaign here. This is the software that we're going to be using today for this tutorial. So you basically want to go to the automation section. So once you're in the automation section, you'll be able to see a bunch of information, but the only thing that you really need to focus on right now is creating an automation. Now you essentially have options here. So you can basically start from scratch. You can import an automation. Our clients within Create Quality Leads actually have a 180-day campaign that we just import right into their database. But if you know somebody that has an automation already, you can import right here. But for us, we're just going to start from scratch right now. So let's just go and start from scratch. It'll load up now. This is something that's really interesting. So guys, we're in the 21st century, so it's really cool. You can actually set a lot of triggers. Now, a lot of these triggers are if this, then that. So what that means is if they subscribe to a list, then they will get this email. So it's essentially a statement that allows us to automate a lot of different things. So if they hit a link in one of your emails, if they forward an email, if they reply to an email, if you add a tag, all these different situations can result in them receiving a different type of email. So for now, we're just gonna stick with something really simple. So we're gonna go with subscribes to a list. So let's just say that they subscribe to a list. You're running a campaign just saying that, hey, you know what, here's a free homes list, or here's some information for first-time home buyers, here's some information for sellers, things like that, and they opt into your ad. Then you're going to be basically using a software called Zapier that'll allow you to connect them from that lead flow campaign to the active campaign. And there's another video that we're going to make on doing that, but you'd essentially have them zapped into here, and then they would be added to a list. You can add them to, let's say, the CQL list. Cool. So let's run this once. So the reason why you don't want to run this multiple times, guys, is because if they go back to the opt-in page and they want to opt in again, they're not going to be getting a whole bunch of new sets of emails. So let's say, for example, in CQL, we give somebody access to a free course. And now let's say they go back to the website and it starts all over again. Hey, here's your free course. Join this Facebook group. Do this, do that. You don't want them receiving the same thing over and over and over again. So we're just going to keep this at runs once, and then segment the contacts entering into this automation. So based on tags and based on different situations, you can actually segment them, but we're not going to worry about this. This is a little bit too advanced for this video. So let's start here. Now, when you are in this section, you can do a couple of different things. So there's send an email, send a notification email, send a transactional email, and you can keep going on and so forth. So there's a whole bunch of different things you want to do. Right now, we're just going to go send an email. But this is a really important section. So conditions and workflow. So there's a whole bunch of different conditions that you can add to an actual automation. Now, the first one is going to be the wait. So waiting a certain period of time until the next email sent out is probably one of the most used automations that even we use. So basically how that looks is that you send, let's say, the welcome email and they get the email, then you hit this button and it'll say wait for how long. So let's say we want to wait 4 hours or 8 hours or 12 hours or 2 days, and then we want to send our next email. So this will allow you to do that. Again, this is an if this happens, then we'll do this. So continue the automation in a different way depending on whether the conditions are matched. So depending on what they do, you can continue the automation a different way. So you can send either this email or that email. Now go to another section action. So if they do this, then they'll go to another action. Whoops, we added that one in there. All right, so goal, jump into an action with automation when the contract matches certain conditions. So if they do something, let's say they click a link, they'll be able to go to a different part of the email automation. Now, start an automation. So this is when you want to essentially start somebody onto an automation. So let's say the automation stops because they book a call, and that's actually what this one is here. So ending the automation. So if they do book a call, you can actually opt to end the automation so they're not continuously getting a whole bunch of emails. But if you need them to be restarted, let's say for example they opt into the list again, or they get tagged that, hey, you know what, this client didn't show up or something like that, then you can restart the automation again. Now, and another automation. So if they're in another automation, you want to end all automations, you'd essentially use this one here. Webhook is a little bit difficult. This one is a little bit more advanced. You don't really need to worry about this, but this will essentially allow you to connect different apps to be able to tell, like, for example, when somebody books a call with us, we can send them a voicemail drop and just say, hey, you know what, really excited to meet you on the call, really excited that you booked a call, thank you for booking the call. But that would be done through third-party apps, so you don't really need to do that. And Perform Math, we don't really need to do any of that. That's a little much too complicated for this. So again, here you can add tags, things like that, add to Facebook custom audience. So this is pretty intense. But for now, guys, let's just start with the automation. So we'll send an email for the first automation. Now the email name will be, let's say, welcome to create quality, or create quality leads welcome email. So this is just going to be like the initial email people get. So let's start with you know what, we can start with a template. If you have past campaigns, you could use that, but right now let's just start with a template, and I'll show you guys exactly which template that I like to use. So let's go into email designer, and it is called newsletter. Let's see if I can find it here. All right, there you go, weekly newsletter. So you select that here, it's under give an update. And essentially you're going to say from who's it coming from, and then who's the email it's coming from, so they can reply to this email, or it can come from another email and they can reply to a different email. It gets complicated, I'd probably just leave it both as the same. And then email subject, welcome to, actually, you know what, let's use a little bit more of a hook. Here's access to your free course, ... Boom, gives them a reason to open it. So let's say the opt-in page was like a lead magnet or a free course of some sort. So boom, pops us into here. This is where you can essentially start building the email. So I like to kind of start with just a logo. I probably don't have a logo here. Yeah, I'd have to add the logo. I don't have a logo on me, but you'd basically add the logo from here, change image. Actually, yeah, I do have a logo. Wicked. So there, I like to make that a little bit bigger. That's not a nice size. There you go. That looks a little bit better. All right, so the cool thing when you're writing an email that ActiveCampaign has is personalized tags. So you can basically go in and write, hey, first name. So then it would say, depending on how they registered, it would say their first name. So, hey, John, just want to thank you for downloading the free organic marketing section. This will ensure you'll be able to close your next deal without having to spend endless dollars on marketing, all while giving you your time back. And then the other thing in the welcome emails that's really important is like every marketer knows this, once you have attention on an email, especially an email like this, the welcome email is probably the highest open rated email that you're going to be sending. So once you have attention, you always want to do something else in here. So you want to have like a call to action to something. So also didn't know if you knew, but we have this school community created where you can learn exactly how I send 1,000 emails a week and generate 10 plus appointments on my calendar every week. Here's the link. Boom. Or I guess it would be school. So used to Facebook groups now. School is the new wave. So now once you have that, JP, maybe put a proper signature, but that's a real quick email right now, just sent out. Now, once you do that, you basically can change a bunch of stuff here. You can add photos, you can add blocks. This will add like images or more text, or add a button even. Button's kind of cool. I like adding more buttons. So this button, you can make it do something. So maybe it'll lead to the school community, or maybe it'll lead to the Facebook group. School access. And then you basically put the link to the site there. So school C. That should work. But anyways, you put the link there. And then you can play with the sizes of things like that. So that's essentially how to create that. Now, if we're going to hit next, I'll show you guys what happens after this. So here you're able to look at your subject line. You're also able to add a pre-header. So a pre-header is essentially something that somebody will see on their phone. You know, when you look at an email and you can see like the first sentence under the subject line, this is something that you really need to think about and use. This helps you actually get better open rates. So if you're able to put an interesting header in there, a pre-header, you're going to be able to attract them to be able to open the email, which could lead to thousands of sales. So you really need to make sure this is good. So access to your free course, I would probably put something like, here's access to your free course. This link will expire, so just save the docs before it does. Then they're gonna really want to open it, because if it expires, you're gonna need, and they requested it, they're gonna need to open it. But obviously, make sure it does expire. Don't be lying to people in here. That's just not a good thing to do. Now, all this stuff, tracking and automations and stuff, that'll be a little bit more in depth on maybe another training, but that's essentially how you create that. Now, you can test it here. You can send it to any one of your emails. So let's just send it to my personal email. You can actually preview it here too. So this is how it looks. Oops. You know what? Let's send it there. Boom. We'll get that email. We'll be able to test it, see if everything looks right. I'm not going to open my email because there's a lot of sensitive information in there, but that's how you send the email. Now, when you're done, you just hit finish. And basically, you are good to go. So select an email to send, create quality leads, welcome email. Boom. So that's your welcome email. Now, next, you can do a couple things. It'll give you some suggestions, but basically, I like to do the condition workflow and then wait for a specific period of time. So let's say a day, or honestly, wait like an hour. Wait for, let's say 2 hours. Let's give them a couple hours without us. Boom. And now you're into making the next email. So guys, you can get really in depth with this. You can get a lot of information from people, and you can also be in front of them at all times. This is going to be huge. Guys, we have 180 days worth of emails that we kind of give to our clients. That is it for this one. Now, if you got some value out of that, smash the like button, hit the subscribe, and we come out with a lot of videos like this. And if you want us to just install this entire system in your business, hit us up at Create Quality Leads. I'm going to put the link in the bio, and let's see if it's right for you. I'll see you guys on the next one.